My wife looked me in the eye and announced, "I am going to get my surgery reversed. My ex-boyfriend wants to have children now." I assumed she expected me to raise them, so I just said, "You should follow your heart." Right after that, I filed for divorce and froze all of my assets. Her attorney called me 2 hours after her surgery was finished. I thought I had a rock-solid marriage with Brenda, who is 42 years old. We have been together for 16 years and married for 12 of them. We have no children. That was our agreement from day one. She actually had her tubes tied 5 years into our marriage because we were completely sure about our decision. I supported her 100%. I drove her to the hospital for the surgery, and I took care of her while she recovered. We built a very comfortable life together, including a nice house, 2 vacations a year, and plans for an early retirement. 3 weeks ago, on a Wednesday evening, we were eating dinner. She dropped this bomb on me in between bites of spaghetti. "Kyle reached out," she said. "He wants to have a baby with me." Kyle is her ex-boyfriend from before we met. He was the supposed love of her life who dumped her for a younger woman 16 years ago. "Okay," I said. "And you are telling me this because I am thinking about getting my procedure reversed?" The fork literally fell out of my hand and hit the plate. "Come again?" I asked. "He realized he made a huge mistake," she said. "We have been talking for months. He wants to try again. He wants a family with me." "You have been talking to your ex-boyfriend for months?" I asked. "Just catching up," she said. "Nothing physical. But that makes it better." "So, you want to leave me for Kyle?" I asked. Here is where it gets absolutely insane. "No, I do not want to leave you," she said. "Kyle cannot afford kids on his own. He is in between jobs right now, but we can afford it. You make good money. The mortgage on the house is almost paid off. We could raise the baby together." I stared at her, waiting for the punchline of the joke. It never came. "You want me to raise a child with your ex-boyfriend?" I asked. "He would be involved, just not financially," she explained. "He would be like a fun uncle who visits." "A fun uncle who is also the biological father?" I asked. "You are making it sound weird." "It is weird," I told her. She actually got defensive. She started talking about how I am close-minded and how modern families come in all shapes and sizes. She said this could be beautiful. She talked about how Kyle is artistic and sensitive, and how he would bring different values to the life of the child. "Brenda," I said. "We agreed on no kids. You got surgery to ensure there would be no kids." "People change," she argued. "I am allowed to change my mind." "You are allowed to change your mind," I said. "You are not allowed to bring the child of your ex into my house and expect me to pay for it. Our house. Our money. We are married." That is when I knew this woman genuinely expected me to bankroll her second chance with Kyle. "Follow your heart, Brenda," I said. She smiled. She actually smiled at me. "Really? You will consider it?" "Me? No," I replied. "I am saying do what you want to do, but understand that I will not be a part of it." The smile vanished from her face. By Thursday morning, she was on her laptop researching doctors who perform reversal surgeries before I even left for work. I made 2 phone calls that day. One was to my lawyer, and the other was to my financial advisor. Here is update number 1. 1 week later, the reversal surgery was scheduled. It happened surprisingly fast. It was at a private clinic with an expedited timeline, and the procedure cost $8,000. Guess who she expected to pay for it? On Monday morning, she slid a credit card authorization form across the breakfast table. "Brenda," she said. "I just need your signature. The clinic needs payment up front." "I am not paying for that," I said. It is our money. We are married. That is money for you to have another man's children. Hard pass. She went ballistic. She started screaming about how I am financially controlling and emotionally manipulative. Her sister, Sarah, called me an hour later. "What is this about you refusing medical care for Brenda?" she asked. "Medical care?" I laughed. "She wants to reverse sterilization to have her ex-boyfriend's babies. She is your wife. You support each other." "Supporting her does not mean funding her reunion tour with Kyle," I said. "You are being petty," Sarah told me. Me? I am being practical. Brenda ended up taking a loan from her retirement account. It was $10,000 with penalties. She was furious. She claimed I forced her to do that. Meanwhile, I had a meeting with my lawyer, Robert. He is a good guy. He handled the divorce for a colleague of mine. He is very thorough. "Robert," I said. "This Kyle situation. You have texts? Emails?" Robert asked. "She does not hide it. She is proud of it. Get everything in writing," he advised. "Every conversation about this arrangement." So, I did. I started texting her instead of talking to her to confirm the details. "You are having surgery to have the biological children of Kyle," I texted. "Yes," she replied. "And you promised to support me." I said, "Follow your heart." "I never agreed to raise another man's children," I texted back. "You are my husband," she wrote. "Of course you will help raise them. We are a team." "What is the contribution Kyle is making to this team?" I asked. "He will provide the genetic material and emotional support," she answered. "And regarding the money, he is rebuilding his life," she texted. "You know that. Do not be cruel." Robert, my attorney, loved those text messages. He said they would be very helpful. The surgery was scheduled for Friday. On Thursday night, Brenda was packing her bag for the hospital. She was humming. She was actually humming a tune. "Kyle is driving me tomorrow," she said. He wanted to be there for support. "How thoughtful," I said. "Do not be sarcastic," she snapped. "This is a beautiful thing. I am creating a life with Kyle. You will love the kids once they are here. You will see." The delusion was total and complete. On Friday morning, I worked from home. At 9 o'clock in the morning, after I confirmed she had checked in for surgery, I initiated the plan. Step 1, I filed for divorce. Robert had everything ready to go. Step 2, I froze all joint accounts, exactly per the advice of my lawyer. It is a temporary legal hold while divorce proceedings are happening. Step 3, I separated my direct deposit to a new individual account. Step 4, I canceled all joint credit cards where I was the primary account holder. Step 5, I changed the beneficiary on my life insurance policy to my brother. 2 hours after her surgery, my phone exploded. It was not Brenda. She was still in recovery. It was her lawyer. "Mr. Harrison," the voice said. "This is Janet Peterson. I represent Brenda Harrison." "What the hell did you just do?" "I filed for divorce," I said. "I assume Brenda mentioned our situation." "Janet, she is in recovery from surgery," the lawyer said. "You froze her accounts while she is in the hospital. The timing is unfortunate." "The timing is unfortunate," I replied. "But the decision was made when she chose Kyle and his hypothetical children over our marriage." "Janet, this is financial abuse," she said. "It is asset protection during divorce proceedings," I told her. "It is very standard." "She needs access to funds," Janet argued. "She had access," I said. "She spent $10,000 on a surgery to have another man's babies." There was silence on the line. Then she said, "You agreed to this arrangement." "I have text messages proving otherwise," I said. "Would you like copies?" "We will be in touch," she said. Here is update number 2 regarding the aftermath. Brenda came home on Saturday afternoon. Kyle dropped her off. He did not come inside, he just waved from his beat-up Honda Civic. Real father material right there. She was walking slowly because she was still sore. She found the divorce papers on the kitchen counter. The scream she let out could have shattered the windows. "Brenda, what is this?" she yelled. "Divorce papers," I said. "I thought that was clear. I just had surgery to have the children of another man." She screamed. "Yes, I am aware," I said. "You said to follow my heart," she said. "I did, and you did," I replied. "Now I am following mine. It is leading me to divorce court." She tried to use the credit card to order dinner. It was declined. She tried to get cash from the automated teller machine. The account was frozen. "How am I supposed to eat?" she asked. "You have your loan money," I said. "That is for baby expenses," she yelled. "For our babies." "Those are Kyle's babies," I said. "And there is no our anymore." She called her sister, Sarah. She called her mom. She called Kyle. The entire squad showed up on Sunday morning. "You are a monster," Sarah said. "She is recovering from surgery." "Me?" I asked. "Surgery? I did not want, did not approve of, and did not pay for that." Brenda's mom, Margaret, chimed in. "Marriage is about compromise." "Compromise?" I asked. "She wants me to raise her ex-boyfriend's children while he plays daddy on the weekends. Where is the compromise?" Kyle finally spoke up. "Look, man, I know this is unconventional." "Kyle, with all due respect, shut up," I said. "You could not keep her 16 years ago. You cannot afford kids now. But somehow you convinced her to blow up her marriage for your genetics. You are either a master manipulator or she has lost her mind. Either way, it is not my problem anymore." "I love her," he said. "Then you pay for everything," I said. "I am between opportunities right now," he mumbled. "Shocking," I said. "You are leaving her with nothing," Sarah said. "She will get her fair share in the divorce," I said. "But I am not funding Kyle's breeding project." "She gave you the best years of her life," Margaret said. "And then decided to give the rest to Kyle," I replied. "Choices have consequences." They left after Brenda started crying about her incisions hurting. Sarah helped her to the guest room. "Yeah, she is staying in the guest room now." That evening, Brenda tried emotional manipulation. "Remember when we got married? You said you would do anything for me." "Within reason," I said. "Raising your ex's kids is not reasonable." "You could learn to love them," she said. "I could learn juggling, too," I said. "That does not mean I should." "Kyle says you are threatened by him," she said. "Me?" I laughed. "Kyle is unemployed and trying to get his ex to fund his legacy. I am not threatened. I am disgusted." On Monday, she escalated. She posted on social media. "Some men cannot handle when a woman chooses her own path. Controlling behavior is abuse. Financial abuse. My body, my choice." The comments on her post were a mixed bag. Her friends rallied around her, but mine saw right through it. My buddy, Dave, commented, "Did she not choose the path toward her ex-boyfriend?" She deleted the post entirely after someone asked, "Wait, is this about Kyle, the guy who dumped you for a 22-year-old?" Here is update number 3, regarding the legal battle. We were 2 weeks post-surgery. Brenda had hired her lawyer, Janet, on a full-time basis. They came out swinging with a list of demands. Number 1, full alimony for 5 years. Number 2, the house. Number 3, half of my retirement fund. Number 4, payment for her medical costs, specifically the reversal surgery. Number 5, future child support for potential children. Robert, my lawyer, laughed. He actually laughed out loud. Robert, I said. Future child support for kids that do not exist, with another man. That is creative. We countered with a standard asset division. No alimony, since she works full-time. She keeps her loan debt. It would be a clean break. Janet fired back with accusations of financial manipulation and reproductive coercion. Reproductive coercion. She is literally having surgery to reproduce with someone else. The mediation was scheduled for Thursday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the conference room at Robert's firm. Brenda showed up with Kyle. At our divorce mediation, Robert said. Is there a reason Mr. Peterson is here? I am here for emotional support, Kyle said. This is a legal proceeding, Robert stated. He is my partner now, Brenda announced. Since when? I asked. Since you abandoned me, she replied. Janet chimed in. My client was forced to seek support elsewhere when Mr. Harrison withdrew all financial and emotional support. He withdrew support for funding the children of another man, Robert corrected. That is slightly different. We went in circles for 2 hours. Brenda insisted she needed the house for the babies. What babies? I asked. They are trying for them, apparently, Robert whispered to me. Kyle sat there nodding like a bobblehead doll. Finally, the mediator asked Brenda directly. Mrs. Harrison, is it true you are planning to have children with Mr. Peterson while seeking financial support from Mr. Harrison? The children deserve support regardless of biology, Brenda said. Children that do not exist, the mediator clarified. But they will exist with Mr. Peterson? Yes, she said. Then perhaps Mr. Peterson should provide the support, the mediator suggested. I am an artist, Kyle said. My work is not about money. The look on the face of the mediator was priceless. We did not reach an agreement. Robert filed for expedited divorce proceedings based on irreconcilable differences and abandonment of the marriage covenant. Meanwhile, Brenda and Kyle were playing house in my house. She had moved him in temporarily because his roommate had kicked him out, probably for not paying rent. I was staying in the spare room at my brother's place. I was paying the mortgage on a house I could not live in because Romeo and Juliet were building a nest there. On Friday night, I got a text from my neighbor. Kyle is moving furniture around. Thought you should know. My furniture, in my house, being arranged by the unemployed artist. Here is update number 4 regarding the restraining order. Brenda escalated things beyond belief. She changed the locks on my house. This is the house with only my name on the deed, the one I bought before the marriage. I showed up on Saturday to get some clothes. My key did not work. Brenda. I called through the door. Open up. You are not welcome here, bro, Kyle yelled from inside. It is my house. Brenda lives here. You abandoned her. I am calling the cops. Do it, I yelled back. Tell them how you financially abused me. The cops arrived. The officer looked tired before I even started explaining. Officer, so your wife lives here, he said. Estranged wife, I corrected. Divorce is in progress. The house is mine. It is a premarital asset. But she lives here, the officer said. She changed the locks while I was staying elsewhere to avoid conflict, I explained. Sir, this is a civil matter, the officer said. You will need to handle it in court. You heard him, Kyle said from the doorway. Leave. The smirk on his face. The actual smirk. On Monday, Robert filed an emergency motion for exclusive use of the residence. The judge scheduled it for Wednesday. On Tuesday night, I got served. Brenda had filed a restraining order. She claimed I was harassing her and threatening Kyle. The petition said I showed up aggressively at the house, that I had been controlling finances to manipulate her, and that I was preventing her from starting a family. She claimed she feared for her safety. Robert was furious. "This is clear manipulation," he said. "She is trying to establish residence and paint you as the aggressor." The hearing on Wednesday was a circus. Brenda showed up in a maternity dress. She is not pregnant. She just had surgery 2 weeks ago. But there she was, with her hand on her flat belly, playing the victim. Janet argued that I was economically terrorizing a woman who was trying to fulfill her maternal destiny. Robert presented the deed showing my sole ownership. He presented the text messages about Kyle and the kids. He showed the bank records regarding the $10,000 loan she took. He showed the security footage from my neighbor showing Kyle moving in. "Mrs. Harrison," the judge asked, "are you pregnant?" "Not yet, but hopefully soon," she replied. "With the child of Mr. Peterson?" the judge asked. "Yes," she said. "While married to Mr. Harrison?" the judge pressed. "He abandoned me by not agreeing to raise the children of another man," she said. There was silence in the courtroom. The restraining order was denied. Exclusive residence was granted to me. They had 48 hours to vacate the property. Brenda screamed. She actually screamed in the middle of the courtroom. "This is discrimination," she yelled. "I have rights." "You have the right to pursue your relationship with Mr. Peterson," the judge said calmly. Elsewhere. Here is update number 5 regarding the Moving Day massacre. Friday was moving day. I hired off-duty police officers for security. It was the best $400 I ever spent. Brenda and Kyle showed up with a rented moving truck at 8 o'clock in the morning. Her sister, Sarah, was there. Her mother, Margaret, was there. Even Kyle's mom showed up, a woman I had never met before, who immediately started yelling about injustice. "You are putting my son on the street," Kyle's mom shouted. "Me?" I asked. "Your 38-year-old unemployed son who is having an affair with my wife." "Yeah, I guess I am the bad guy." They started loading boxes. Brenda was crying, making sure everyone saw her tears. Then Kyle tried to take my flat-screen television. "That is mine," I said. "Brenda uses it," Kyle argued. "So it is mine." "Receipts are in my filing cabinet," I said. "Do not be petty, bro," Kyle said. "Says the guy screwing my wife," I replied. One of the police officers stepped forward. "Sir, put the television down." Kyle backed off quickly. Real tough guy. Sarah tried next. "Brenda needs furniture for her new place." "Then she should buy some," I said. "With what money?" Sarah asked. "You froze everything." "Me?" I said. "She has a job. Kyle is an artist. Figure it out." Margaret pulled out her phone and started recording. "This is what financial abuse looks like," she narrated. "Forcing a woman from her home." "It is literally my house," I said. "Marital property," she countered. Robert, who had shown up to observe, stepped in. "Premarital asset, actually. Here is the deed." Margaret kept recording anyway, muttering about viral videos and justice. The real drama happened when Brenda tried to take my grandmother's dining set. "Absolutely not," I said. "We picked it out together." Brenda cried. "For my grandmother's estate sale, with my money," I reminded her. "I need it for the babies," she sobbed. "What babies?" I asked. You just had surgery. The future babies, she said. Kyle's babies, I corrected. Our babies, she insisted. There is no our, I said. There is you and Kyle. Leave the furniture. She burst into tears again. You are so cruel. I wasted 16 years on you. That is a weird way to describe a marriage you are leaving for your ex-boyfriend, I said. Kyle stepped up, his chest puffed out. You need to show some respect. Respect? I asked. You are literally stealing my wife and trying to steal my television. Get out. They finally left around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The truck was half empty because most of their stuff was actually mine. Brenda fired a parting shot. You will regret this when you die alone. Better than raising Kyle's kids, I said. Here is update number 6 regarding the fallout. 3 days after moving day, Brenda and Kyle were staying with Sarah. Apparently, it was not going well. I got a call from Sarah. It was the first time she had ever sounded tired instead of angry. They need to borrow money, she said. No, I replied. I am not asking for them, she said. I am asking because they are driving me insane and they need their own place. Still no, I said. Kyle will not look for work, Sarah complained. He says he is processing trauma from the move. Sounds about right, I said. Brenda keeps talking about baby names, she continued. She is not even pregnant yet. Yet they are trying loudly. In my guest room. My kids are asking questions. And you want me to help? I asked. God, you are right, Sarah sighed. This is insane. What was she thinking? The cracks were starting to show. Meanwhile, the divorce was moving forward. Janet had stopped returning Robert's calls as quickly. Brenda's demands were getting desperate. The latest offer was that she would take $50,000 cash and walk away. That is actually not terrible, Robert advised. She cheated with her ex and wanted me to raise his kids, I said. She gets the standard division, nothing more. You could end this quickly, he said. She made me leave my own house for 2 weeks, I said. She changed my locks. She deserves nothing extra. On Thursday, I got a text message from an unknown number. It was Kyle. We need to talk, man to man, he wrote. Pass, I replied. I am trying to be respectful here, he texted. You are sleeping with my wife, I wrote back. That ship has sailed. She is divorcing you, he said. She is not your wife. Still legally married, genius, I replied. I need you to know I will take care of her, he wrote. With what money? I asked. Love does not need money. Babies do. Without my wallet, good luck. He kept typing paragraphs about destiny and connection and how they were meant to be together. He said I was standing in the way of true love. You had your chance 16 years ago, I wrote. You chose someone younger. Now you are broke and need a meal ticket. Brenda volunteered. Not my problem. You are bitter, he said. I am realistic, I replied. Stop texting me. I blocked him. On Friday afternoon, Brenda showed up at my workplace. Security called me down to the lobby. She looked rough. Her hair was unwashed, she had no makeup on, and she was wearing the same clothes I had seen her in 3 days ago. Brenda, we need to talk through lawyers only, I said. I am pregnant, she whispered. My blood ran cold for a second. Already? I asked. It has been 3 weeks since the surgery. The doctor said it was possible, she said. Congratulations. Kyle must be thrilled, I said. He is, she replied. But we need help. No, the baby is innocent. The baby is the responsibility of Kyle. You are really going to let a child suffer? Me? I asked. Am I really going to let Kyle handle his own child? She started crying. It was ugly, loud crying. The security guard looked extremely uncomfortable. I made a mistake, she sobbed. Several, actually, I agreed. I should have talked to you first, she said. You should have stayed faithful to our marriage, I told her. We can work this out, she pleaded. You are allegedly pregnant with the baby of Kyle, and you are asking me to work it out. I asked. You are delusional. You could be the father, she said. Like an adoption. The security guard actually coughed to cover up a laugh. Brenda, go home to Sarah's house or wherever you are staying, I said. Just go. This is not over. Actually, I said. It is. Here is the final update. 2 months later, the divorce was finalized last week. Here is where everyone ended up. The asset division was a standard 50-50 split of marital assets. The house was mine from before the marriage, but I had to buy out her share of the appreciation in value. It was worth it just to get her gone. She walked away with about $73,000 total. It was not the windfall she expected, but it was not nothing. The pregnancy was a lie. Surprise, surprise. Sarah confirmed that Brenda got her period 2 weeks after that scene at my workplace. She was never pregnant, she was just desperate. Kyle lasted exactly 34 days after the divorce was finalized. Once the reality hit him that there was no house, no money train, and no comfortable life, but just Brenda's $73,000 draining fast on deposits and furniture, he bounced. His exit was pathetic, even by Kyle's standards. Brenda woke up to a note. Need to find myself. This is not working. Sorry. He took $5,000 she had withdrawn for baby furniture for the non-existent baby and disappeared. Brenda called me crying at 2 o'clock in the morning. He left me. Okay, I said. That is all you have to say? She asked. What did you expect me to say? I replied. I gave up everything for him, she sobbed. Yes, you did, I said. You must be happy, she said. I am indifferent, I told her. I want to come home, she whispered. That is not your home anymore, I said. We had 15 good years, and you threw them away for Kyle. She hung up the phone. According to Sarah, who still texts me occasionally, we are weirdly cool now. Brenda is living in a 1-bedroom apartment and working overtime to cover her expenses. She has tried dating apps, but telling guys she just reversed her sterilization to have the babies of her ex-boyfriend apparently is not a selling point. Who knew? Kyle posted on Instagram from Costa Rica last week. He is finding himself through art and adventure with another woman. She is younger, of course. Margaret called me once, trying to guilt me into helping Brenda. She is struggling, Margaret said. She is an adult who made choices, I replied. She was confused, Margaret argued. She was calculating, I said. It just did not work out. Do you not feel anything? She asked. Relief, I said. And honestly, that is true. The house is peaceful. I redecorated everything. I got a promotion at work because there is no drama at home affecting my performance. I started dating someone casually. It is nothing serious, but she has never mentioned wanting me to fund the children of her ex-boyfriend, so that is already a massive improvement. Here is the best and worst part. Brenda sent a Christmas card. It was a photo of her standing by a sad little Christmas tree in her apartment. Inside it said, thinking of better times. Maybe new year, new chances. I texted Sarah. Did Brenda seriously send me a Christmas card? She is convinced you will take her back eventually. Based on what? I asked. Delusion, mostly, Sarah replied. She keeps saying you two are meant to be. We were meant to be, until Kyle sent a text message. She calls him the mistake now. The mistake that cost her everything. She knows. Good. The last I heard, Brenda was considering moving back to her hometown. The rent is cheaper, and she could stay with her parents. Margaret would love that. She could tell Brenda daily how evil I am, while Brenda realizes Kyle played her like a dollar store harmonica. As for me, life is good. It is quiet and drama-free, the way marriage was supposed to be. Before my wife decided the genetic material of her unemployed ex was worth more than our life together, she wanted me to raise Kyle's kids. She got to experience Kyle's commitment level instead. She wanted to follow her heart. It led her straight to a one-bedroom apartment and a maxed-out credit card. The entitlement was staggering. The assumption that I would just go along with it was insulting. The surprise when there were actual consequences was priceless. Do I feel bad? Sometimes, late at night, I remember the good times. Then I remember her sitting across from me, excitedly explaining how I would be paying for Kyle's offspring while he played weekend dad. And any sympathy evaporates. She made her choice. I made mine. The difference is that I can live with mine. Kyle is still finding himself in Costa Rica. Brenda is finding out that starting over at 42 with nothing but debt and delusion is not the romantic adventure she imagined. And me? I am finding that peace and self-respect are worth more than any relationship built on entitlement and betrayal. It was the best $73,000 I ever spent to get my life back.